Welcome to the Ripple Podcast.
The podcast where we tell you stories about strange and unusual things.
And the ripples they create.
AKA the story after the story.
I'm Rosa.
And I'm Angela.
And this is the Ripple Podcast.
Get Ripple, the bright new drink with that ring-a-ding flavor, Ripple.
All right, I'm a little impressed with our intro right there.
Yeah.
That was the first time we did it on the first take.
Right.
Without totally jacking it up.
Yeah. That's true. Normally I have like some strange desire just to mess it up. And I don't know where it comes from or why. But like I just...
Deep in your soul.
I just don't
mess
like
with me.
the repeating.
I know. You hate how it says the Ripple Podcast. The Ripple Podcast?
Yes.
I
That
know.
part always bothers me.
I know.
Whatever.
Suck it up.
Okay.
I meant to look. I believe.
Oh, episode number?
I believe it's 25.
I have no idea. Oh, wow.
Like, I think it is.
25.
I think it is. I know, it's a lot, right?
That is a lot.
It's awesome. Like, I feel like,
But we're actually going back to like episode 3.
that is kind of funny.
The lost episode. I think there's more than one lost episode.
I do too. Well, I mean, we saved our stories, like document-wise.
Right.
But our recordings sometimes disappeared. Or some of them we didn't know what we were doing. We didn't have mics. We were like literally recording.
I was just going to say it's probably better that those ones never made it.
Yeah, some of those were really bad. Our very first episode, which I think was an interesting episode, about that was our dog one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of these days we'll have to bring these back.
That was fun.
Start doing our lost episodes because we had a good, I don't know what, 12 episodes maybe.
Was it that many?
It was quite a few. Quite a few.
But at the same time, it's better that like some of those never made it to any ears because they're pretty awful. There's a few that are on right now, like on our.
Oh, there's a couple that I'm like, ooh, cringy.
Yeah,
You know, everyone has a different taste.
Spooky places, not my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone has a different style. It has a different taste. Has a different. This one's my favorite. This one's my favorite. So.
You're all beautiful, unique flowers, right?
Sure. That's the way to say it. But today, yeah, like you said, we're doing a last episode. This is our hoax episode.
Yep.
Hoaxes and pranks.
Hoaxes sounds weird to me.
Like spooky?
No, hoaxes, like the word itself. Like I feel like it's wrong.
It's not a correct word.
Yeah. Like is it hoax? Hoaxes. When it's plural, it just sounds like it's not right.
But is that correct?
I don't know. I think so.
Look at all the hoaxes.
It's kind of like corpses. I feel like corpse should also be the plural of corpse. But no, corpses. It's a word.
We're getting real literal right now. Literary documentation.
What?
Trying to think of that word that bugs me. And I can't. It's all right. Anyway. Oh, hey.
Hi.
I got a cat today.
What?
I know I didn't tell you that earlier.
You got a cat?
Mm-hmm. A little kitty.
A kitten?
No, she's like 2.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
That's better.
I think they had kittens and they were so cute. But kittens get adopted like crazy. And then I feel like the cats just sit there. And this one looked so like, had these big yellow eyes. And every time Eden would walk by, it would like pat like at the glass and stuff.
Wait, where did you go?
PetSmart.
Oh, were they doing an adoption thing?
Mm-hmm. It's through Works.
I've never heard of that, but okay.
Yeah, it's an adoption.
Uh-huh.
They rescue them from actually the animal shelters and then put them in here so they get more visibility. But it's crazy because you can't go to the shelters still.
Really? I didn't know that.
No. So I've been looking online at the shelters and there's these pictures and then you have to like fill out this huge document and then submit it and make an appointment. And if they call you or contact you, then you get to go and see the animal. But I don't even think you get to interact with them. Like pretty much like bring it out and like, okay, is this the one you want? And if you're going to be like committing to an animal, I want to kind of like see it a little. And even at PetSmart, like they don't let you go into like the room and like play with the animals. Like,
Why?
Because of COVID.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And bless
Sorry,
you.
my sneeze got stuck. I know.
Just
Even
the
talking,
word cat makes you
cats
sneeze.
makes me sneeze. Yep.
But yeah, it's really cute. It's a black cat. It's a girl. And she seems real cool so far. I think she had a litter of kittens because her belly is like,
Hey,
hanging
don't body
down.
shame her.
We named her Magic.
I was just gonna ask if you already had a name. Magic. Okay, I like it.
Yeah, little black
Wait,
Magic.
is that? Oh. Okay.
Right?
I
Yeah.
was gonna ask if that was from a movie or something because I feel like a lot of witches' cats would be. Well, there's Salem
Right.
from Sabrina, and then there's the cat. What's the cat's name in Hocus Pocus?
Jinx.
Oh, that's a cute name too.
But we watched The Magic for Humans last night.
I heard that was really good.
It's super fun. And so we were trying to think of like, oh, like what would be a good name? And thinking of things that are black. And Eden's like, I want to name her Bat. And I'm like, oh, that'd be hard to say though. Bat, cat, bat, you know. And so we were thinking of other things. And I said, oh, we watched that magic show last night. What about magic? And Eden's like, yeah. So magic it was. Done.
That's fun.
But she's cute. Hopefully she gets along with the other animals and
Yeah,
stuff.
well, your dogs are always really good about cats. So.
Usually.
Yeah, mine's not.
Yeah.
But luckily, my cat has her own separate apartment outside of the house where she doesn't have to interact with the dogs.
She stays away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like Bob Barker, get your pets spayed or neutered so that they don't overpopulate. It's my 2 cents for the day.
Cool. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, you'll have to see her. She's cute.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, you'll crack up. So we got her a collar and a tag and everything at the store. And we got her this really pretty like lavender collar. And it's got a crystal on it, like amethyst.
What?
like an actual crystal hanging on the
Oh, Jesus. I thought you were talking about like a freaking rhinestone or something.
No, like an actual crystal.
What kind of healing powers does that crystal have?
I don't know, but it's really pretty. A
Well,
real crystal.
See, that's the one thing I can agree with. Yeah, they're really pretty.
Mm-hmm. Amethyst.
I'm sure that PetSmart collar has a ton of superpowers.
Yeah. Especially if you activate it with water.
Or do you charge it with the moonlight?
Well, it is a black cat, so, you know, it's going to ward off all kinds of evil spirits.
Oh, well.
Want me to tell you a story?
Yeah.
Do you have more to tell me?
No.
Any news
I was
to
just
share?
deciding what drink I'm going to drink right now.
I know, we have like
Unless-
a ton of drinks in front of us. I made a special drink again.
Oh, okay.
And it's not peanut butter. Oh, I brought you a present too. I have all these things to tell you.
Oh.
Here's your present. Because I made you endure that peanut butter drink last week. That thick, what'd you call it, viscous?
It was very viscous. But we have to say, so I finished like half of it, which I kind of got used to the flavor. It wasn't
There's
great.
a lot of alcohol in it. I
There
think
was a
you
lot of
probably
alcohol.
got drunk off of it.
Maybe. But then I gave it to Eric to try.
Our brother.
And I'm like, here, try this. And he's not like a huge fan of peanut butter to begin with, but he's like, yeah, whatever. I'm like indifferent about peanut butter. I gave it to him. He literally spit the drink out as soon as he put it in his mouth. He's like, what the hell is this?
I wish I would have seen that. I was,
It was
going to the
pretty great.
bathroom.
He was like, oh, that was nice. You guys made me a drink too? Okay, cool. And yeah.
I just hear this scream coming from the garage where Angela's cracking up laughing so hard.
That's why he never trusts us.
It's true. We kind of do tricks like that. But here's your present.
You went to Grocery Outlet.
I totally did.
Because I bought the same exact jar yesterday.
I went yesterday too.
Wait, okay. So Rosa just handed me, first off, I have to mention that Rosa's freaking alarm went off again for episode 25, just like every single episode. But Rosa just handed me a jar of the Justin's coconut almond butter, which I know you bought at Grocery Outlet because this bitch is expensive. expensive, like at Sprouts.
Uh-huh.
But at Grocery Outlet, it was like $5.99 or something.
Yeah, it was like smoking deal.
Yeah, and it's a big jar. It's not like the regular size.
No,
it's like
it's a real
jumbo size.
Yeah, and have you had it yet? It's so
oh my
good.
God, it is
Ridiculously good.
so good. When did you go? Was I there at the same time as you?
I went yesterday morning.
Oh, I went in the evening.
Oh, okay.
Did you go to Ventura or Camarillo?
Sadaquay Ventura.
Yeah, that's the same one I went to.
Yeah. What else did you get?
I got 3 containers of the Enlightened ice cream.
I was looking at those, and then I go, Eden, do you want to get some ice cream? And she's like, no.
Whatever, Eden.
I was like,
more ice cream for me.
What kind of kid are you?
Weird.
But I wasn't sure if I was going home right then, so I didn't get it.
They were $1.99.
Mm.
It's so good. I got 3 of them. I got 2 of the chocolate covered potato chip flavor.
What?
Yes. And then I also got the triple berry cobbler flavor. And I'm like, it sounds kind of good, but like I love chocolate, so that's why I'm going to get 2 of the chocolate ones. I need another one of the triple berry cobbler.
Maybe I'll go there on the way home.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
It's probably going to be closed by the time we get done with this shenanigans.
Did you get any more hard booch?
No,
I got I got the
Flying Embers.
I've got Flying Embers.
So good.
Cedar and ginger flavor, or oak and
Oak
ginger.
and ginger, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. It was really, really tasty. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, speaking of fun drinks, this is the drink I made you.
More gifts.
So this is nothing from Grocery Outlet this time, but I have a pineapple, orange, melon margarita with jalapenos.
Oh,
fresh jalapenos.
Yum. It's like glowing. It's like
it came it's just like a Jose Cuervo mix, you know?
Oh.
The orange pineapple.
Yeah, and those are always like fluorescent colored.
Well, it wasn't strong enough for me, so I had to add a little more like alcohol in it.
Yeah.
And then I also added, because like I said before, I've been going through my alcohol cabinet and like clearing stuff out. I found a brand new bottle of Midori.
Wait, why do you have a bottle of Midori?
I don't know, but I had to open it. I like Midori sours were my like jam.
Were they?
For a while? Yeah, like back in the early 2000s.
Oh, jeez, this thing's old.
Well, I don't think it's that old, but it was pretty funny. So I had to add a little of that in it as well. So I put in a little vodka.
Oh God,
because it's already got tequila,
vodka, and Midori. It sounds like a hangover.
Well, how is it? It tastes though.
It is really good. I will say I finally, for the first time since quarantine started, was able to go to a restaurant this week.
No way. I haven't done that yet.
I went to La Cabana here in Santa Paula, and they still, of course, they have the social distancing. It's weird. Like, you have to wear your mask. You go sit down, you take your mask off, and then you have to put it on if you ever leave your table. Weird. But whatever. I'm like, I'm not going to complain. I'm happy to be at an actual restaurant where the people are.
I want to be where the people are.
And of course, it was happy hour. So I got myself a margarita. And they have the jumbo, like fishbowl sized margaritas. And they don't have this on the menu. Mm-hmm. But insider secret, if you ask them to blend up a jalapeno in your margarita, they will be happy to do so.
That's good to know.
Hell yeah. So strawberry margarita blended with a jalapeno.
And it was delicious.
Oh my God, so good.
I'm not a big fan of margaritas. Like, they're not my favorite.
Uh-huh.
But if they've got jalapeno in them, I'm down.
Right. I'm the same way. Like, I can only handle so much sweetness in a cocktail.
Mm-hmm. Have we talked about this? I feel like we've talked about
this. I think we have.
Yeah. It's like deja vu.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, give me a jalapeno and I'm good to go. Okay. So here's my hoax story for you. So enjoy your margarita while I tell you this story.
Okay.
And it starts out. In recent years, social media users have been encountering all sorts of viral challenges. So we all know about the like ice challenge,
ice bucket challenge.
Everyone, You called someone out, and that was for a great cause.
It was.
Lou Gehrig's disease, correct? I believe so. And then no?
I don't know.
I think it was Lou Gehrig's.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
I'm going to say that. There was the cinnamon challenge, which was so stupid.
Was that just like put a spoonful of cinnamon in your mouth and like try to eat it?
Mm-hmm. And it's like impossible to do, apparently.
You would think that this would be the kind of shit that people would think up during quarantine.
Right, rather than...
No, this is when people could go places and do things. Mm-hmm. And they're still trying to swallow spoonfuls of cinnamon.
Or swallow Tide Pods.
Oh, Jesus.
Remember that?
Yes, unfortunately.
So sometimes these challenges are, for a good cause. They're raising money, raising awareness. They just get people talking. Oh, what was the other one? Eric would know. That song when you like get out of your car and you dance.
Kiki,
yeah.
to you something.
That one. So another one. Okay. So there's a ton of them, obviously. There's and with social media and everything, they get a lot of attention. You throw a good hashtag on there and it's going to just go viral. So back in...
I wish that were easy.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to get onto that. In 2019...
Let's do a ripple challenge.
I'm going to create a ripple challenge and we're going to go viral. In 2019, there was Momo. So describe for me what you remember about the Momo.
Oh my God. The Momo, it was super creepy. It was like giant eyes.
Uh-huh.
Kind of alienish.
Like a long stretched out face.
Long stretched out, wasn't it kind of pale and gray sort of?
Uh-huh. Long stringy black hair.
Yeah, okay, I forgot about that part. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like pointy chin, pointy nose, something that would like make you piss your pants if you ever saw it in a dark alley. Actually, anywhere. In a well-lit sidewalk.
If you saw that coming at you. Right,
yeah.
And you're an adult. Okay, so now imagine you're 5 years old and you're watching your favorite episode of like Peppa Pig on YouTube.
Whatever that is.
Yeah, it's horrible. Don't even. Sorry if you're a parent. Like, it's the worst. Your kid's watching it on YouTube and this creepy ass Momo face comes up.
Nightmares.
And it tells the kids like, hey, go do this tricky little task, but don't tell your parents. Because if you tell mommy or daddy, then they're gonna die.
Oh, God.
Okay. So obviously, little Timmy or Johnny or whatever is gonna freak the F out.
Yep.
So there was this mom and she was reading some news reports and she heard about this Momo challenge is what they're calling it. And she wanted to see if her kids had seen Momo because she knew that they had been on YouTube and watching shows. And so she showed them a picture of Momo and said, hey, have you seen this before? And suddenly her kid totally like burst into tears.
Yeah.
And says, it's scaring me. We're sorry. Stop saying her name. We're going to be killed.
Oh, God.
And then there's another story about this 7-year-old. And it's a quote from the parent. It says, my 7-year-old son was hanging out with his friends at school watching Fortnite gameplay videos, which is a whole thing to me that I just don't understand. It's kids watching people play video games.
Oh, yeah. Adam watches this.
I don't get it.
I don't either.
I like video games. I'll play video games.
I don't.
But
watching other people play them?
Weird. Okay. So anyways, the 7-year-old's watching this Fortnite gameplay. And then about 14 minutes into the video, Momo popped up and said, if you tell anybody, I'm going to kill your mom and dad. And then...
Tell them what, though?
That I'm here, or I'm going to, you have to do this stuff. So, and then there's the last one that I have a quote from. It's quote, when I sat them down, this is the parent talking, and showed them a photo, my 5-year-old daughter jumped into my arms crying, saying, she's coming now. My son begged us to move houses and said we have to move before Momo comes.
Oh, God.
So I think it's kind of like Bloody Mary. Remember Bloody Mary? Like if you said Bloody Mary 3 times in the dark in a mirror, then the vision of her appears.
Yeah, but you never saw Bloody Mary because it wasn't a real thing.
Or you never got to the third time saying it because it was scary.
So you were supposed to not say the name Momo? Is
right.
that... Huh.
I think
And what was the challenge? What were they supposed to...
Okay,
is that what you're
so
going
let me get to that. So who is Momo? And we kind of talked about this. So it's like a creepy picture of a younger looking lady that has long black hair, huge bulging eyes. She needs some Botox.
Yeah, seriously.
She's got a stretched out huge smile. And then if you see like her entire body, a lot of the shots were just her head. But if you see her whole body, she's actually got like pretty big boobs and then like bird legs, like actual like bird legs.
Not like just skinny legs, but
right.
bird legs.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So it was a sculpture. And they're associated with an urban legend and an online hoax.
Okay.
So the Momo challenge was supposedly a form of cyberbullying where instructions would be given to kids to perform tasks. So a lot of these tasks were harmful, like include like sticking forks into an electrical outlet.
God.
Taking pills.
No.
Disappear for 72 hours.
What kid is going to know how long 72 hours is?
All right, well, a couple days. Cutting the lines on a stove, like to get like
the gas lines?
Oh. Or even just suicide, which a lot of those things would kill you.
Suicide typically results in death.
So if these tasks weren't completed, then Momo was going to come and find the kids and then kill their entire family.
Yikes.
So images of Momo along with a number to call on WhatsApp would show up. So like this image would show the Momo image and then this phone number on WhatsApp to call. And that's how the kids would find out, or the people would find out what their task was.
Oh, I didn't know about that part.
So on July 25th, 2018, there was a Buenos Aires Times. They reported that police were investigating this Momo game and its involvement with a 12-year-old girl that committed suicide in Argentina.
Oh, no.
The police gave a statement that told about chats that the girl had using the WhatsApp app. And the police said that the intention was to upload the video to social media as part of a challenge aimed at crediting the Momo game. And then on August 2nd, Fox News gave a report that compared the Momo suicide challenge to the blue whale challenge.
I remember that.
Yeah, the blue whale challenge is horrible. It's another one where you have to, I think there's, I want to say like 50.
There's a lot
of steps. 50 steps you have to complete, or what's that called? Levels. You complete 50 levels, and then on the last level is like suicide,
which is so bizarre because I don't really understand like what are you gaining from it?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a form of like hypnosis or I don't know. And I did a bunch of research looking for like the steps and you can't find it anywhere.
Oh, well, that's probably a good thing.
True. Very true. But it'll be little things like post a YouTube video of yourself saying a certain thing.
And you were supposed to like draw something on your arm.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
And it was really bizarre. We should look into that because it's weird that there's such motivation for more than one person. I mean, one person alone is a tragedy, but for multiple people to complete the entire blue whale challenge, and I really don't understand the incentive other than it's just preying upon vulnerable teenagers.
Right.
And yeah, there's like some weird psychological aspect.
Absolutely. It's horrible.
I don't know if there's a threat or something, but yeah, that would be interesting to look into too.
Well, there was this YouTuber called Repzilla, and they uploaded a video titled, quote, "How the Momo Challenge Uses Psychology to Kill." And it referred to it as the, quote, suicide challenge. So the Momo itself, like the image of Momo, it came from a Japanese artist named Keisuke Aso.
I'm impressed.
Thanks. And they created this sculpture from a special effects company named the Link Factory. And the sculpture was based on the legend of Ubum, which was a venomous child-snatching bird of Japanese folklore.
Oh.
And it was placed on display at the Vanilla Gallery in Tokyo, Japan. And there was this Instagram user. They took a picture of the sculpture and posted it to their feed. Wow, I doubt you all heard that, but there was an airplane that just flew over, like super crazy low. Anyways, back to the feed. So this Instagram user took a picture, posted it, and it just went crazy because a Reddit user grabbed that Instagram picture and cropped it to make the close-up image of the face.
Mm-hmm.
And they uploaded it to like the R Creepy, Reddit. And there, that image received more than 4,700 points, which is like an 89% upvote. And
I know what that means.
Oh, do you not go on Reddit?
No, I do. I love Reddit.
Oh,
but I didn't know that was like
a percentage thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. They have like.
Is that how you get gold? I've always wanted to get a gold.
Oh, I don't know. I just read. I don't post a lot on Reddit.
Oh.
But there were over 900 comments within the first 48 hours. So whoever this person was that posted this initial image of Momo,
they got a cold.
I want them to take over the Ripple podcast and post for us, because I want the Ripple podcast to get over 900 comments in the first 48 hours.
Oh, that scares me.
Oh, no, let's do it. We're doing it big. Okay. And then there was a YouTuber named Rainbot. And they posted a video titled Exploring the Momo Situation. And they discussed many of like the WhatsApp phone numbers associated with it. So there was multiple WhatsApp phone numbers. And within 24 hours, I need to contact this Rainbot person. 24 hours, that video got over 96,000 views and 3,700 comments. In 24 hours. You know that we've almost hit 1,000 downloads. Almost 1,000. We're almost at 1,000.
Hey, we're in like 5 countries now?
Yeah, we just hit Canada. Hey, Tom.
Hi, Canada.
Yeah, super exciting. Anyways, so in Asia, after being altered by a youth who received a Momo challenge invitation, the police in West Bengal issued a warning, and the cybercrime unit, which I think is super cool that there's like a cybercrime unit, they opened an investigation. But the police couldn't confirm any role of the Momo challenge, and what they were investigating was the death of a 10th grade girl who committed suicide after leaving a note saying that she was super upset about her low grades. But
that was a lie?
Well, they related it to the Momo challenge.
So I wonder if the Momo challenge person, if Momo told her to use that excuse?
Like the reason?
Leave that note to throw him off course, off the Momo course?
Off the Momo trail, yeah. And then there was also Pakistan. So we've hit Asia. We're now in Pakistan. We've also, what did I say? 96,000 views. So this whole Momo thing is just going crazy. Like, it's blowing.
Oh yeah,
up.
everybody heard about
all
it.
These places.
I don't have small children. I don't monitor their YouTube consumption. That stresses me out even thinking about it. And I know about the Momo challenge.
Right. So in Pakistan's Minister of Information Technology, they announced to the government that they intended to draft a legislation making it a crime to distribute the Momo challenge as well as the blue whale challenge. So they're taking this so seriously. Like, if you're caught forwarding this Momo stuff,
you're going to be charged.
You're going to get in big trouble.
And it's Momo specifically and the blue whale specifically.
Correct.
So, wow.
Mm-hmm. And then
serious business.
Also in Spain.
Twice now. This is a double alarm episode.
8:20. In Spain, The police warned people to stay away from new, like, quote, challenge applications that may pop up. The UK actually sent stuff home to the school from the administration, like, to the parents. So, like, there was posts and shares and retweets, like, just flooding social media, warning parents about the dangers of Momo. I myself got multiple text messages, things that showed up in, like, mom groups on Facebook, newspapers even, and news shows and schools. They're just, you know, they want parents to be aware that this whole, like, Momo challenge thing is happening and that kids need to be kept safe. So there's an interview with this mom in Scotland, and her name was Lynn Dixon, and she claimed that her 8-year-old son... What? Why are you laughing? This is serious business.
Does she have a cider company?
Oh, it's a hard cider. Lynn Dixon? Yeah, Lynn Dixon hard cider.
Of the cider company?
Yeah.
Dixon ciders?
Hard Dixon cider.
Have you ever had the hot version of the hard Dixon ciders?
I've never had hot Dixon cider.
Oh my gosh, the hot Dixon ciders. It'll blow you away.
Oh, I like to blow hard Dixon cider. Anyways. So this Lynn Dixon from Dixon Cider, she claimed her 8-year-old son was told by a person using the Momo image to get a knife and hold it to his neck. And this is a quote from the little boy. It says, "He showed me an image of the face on my phone and said that she had told him to go into the kitchen drawer and take out a knife and put it into his neck. We've told him it's a load of rubbish and there are bad people out there who do bad things, but it's frightening, really frightening." So another one, there's another YouTuber who's named Red Silver J. They did another video about the Momo challenge. And again, within 24 hours, this video got more than 540,000 views. So everyone was looking for Momo. Like, that was like the big search, you know, on Google for this time. But then that same day, Snopes published an article titled, "How Much of a Threat is the Perpetrated Momo Challenge Suicide Game?" And so they talk about it. And then even Kim Kardashian, do you remember this? So she posted an Instagram story because, you know, you have to listen to whatever the Kardashians say.
Of course.
Like, what they say is law. And to her story, she, like, pleaded, saying, like, please help, and telling the parents to monitor everything that their kids are watching. So web security experts were studying the urban legend, and they explained that the Momo scare was actually and completely a hoax. None of this Momo stuff was true.
Wait. Okay, what?
Yeah. So Momo, the image, and the WhatsApp phone numbers, and the stick your fork in an outlet stuff, all made up. None of it was true.
But even the Pakistani legislation, like, okay, did that happen?
Totally happened because they believed
that this was actually happening.
Correct.
So the 12-year-old girl...
She did commit suicide.
But there had nothing to do.
Nothing to do with Momo.
Okay. That's a letdown.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean. Like, I was hoping the 12-year-old girl never killed herself.
Right. No, that unfortunately
did
was
happen.
true.
But the Momo thing. So the WhatsApp phone numbers were they even real? Like, did they go anywhere? Did people communicate on any of them?
I think they were just random numbers, and maybe someone would pick up, but I think it was totally made up.
But they weren't like, hey, hold a knife to your throat,
nope,
or else I'll kill your entire family.
Totally kids lying, or well, I think a lot of it was like
creepypasta.
Well, that, or like kids saying what they think they want the parents to hear. Or they, like,
that
hey,
a thing?
well, sometimes like if a parent goes, there's a really bad thing on YouTube right now and they're telling kids to do really bad and dangerous things. Have you seen this picture? Has it told you to do anything? So if you're putting that thought into their head, like already, like what's a really bad thing? Well,
Okay, so to put this into terms that I can understand, because I don't have children. So when there's trash on the ground in my kitchen and I go to Smokey and I say, did you do this? And he looks all guilty.
Even though he didn't do it?
Even though clearly Ashes did it.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, totally. Smokey's going to take the blame.
Oh, poor Smokey.
Yeah. Smokey's going to say Momo told him to do it.
Oh.
Yeah. Damn
My
Ashes.
sweet boy. Hey, she's a very nice girl.
Oh, yeah. So the Momo scare was actually a total hoax. It was caused by a case of moral panic. This hoax was fueled by the media, and they published unverified reports. Stupid media. So
Hey, we're technically media now.
I mean, the media is so rad. So this, along with the fear that parents, like their number one goal is to keep your kids safe, and they don't always know what maybe they're watching on the internet. Like that was a fear. Like, oh my God, my kid may have totally seen this. So after all these reports, scares, and stories, authorities still have not confirmed any physical harm resulting from the Momo challenge. And then even more so, there's no proof that any messages took place between Momo and any viewers. And YouTube actually gave a statement. Wait, why are you... like a bomb's gonna go off. YouTube gave
Never mind, I'm gonna stop trying to touch things on the computer.
Gave a statement that said, quote, contrary to press reports, we've not received any recent evidence of videos showing or promoting the Momo challenge on YouTube. Content of this kind would be in violation of our policies and removed immediately. And then the creator of this statue.
Yeah, because it was a sculpture.
Right.
Said.
It was a real sculpture. The Keisuke Isao, they said that he felt kind of responsible for the images of the statue being used in the hoax. And he was really kind of upset that children had been affected. And he said that he felt a little responsible for it, which is really sad. Like, he just created this sculpture.
And thinking of it as a sculpture, it's a freaking rad sculpture.
Oh my gosh, it's kind of cool. And he said, quote, I feel like I'm in trouble, but it's all out of my hands. The sculpture itself was actually thrown away in 2018.
Oh, no.
Oh, before all of this happened. So that's not the reason why.
Dang, I bet they regret that now.
Well, the material that it was made with was like a natural rubber and plant oil. So it started like decomposing.
Oh.
So it just started like kind of like rotting away. And the children, so he's like, oh, okay, so the children can be reassured that Momo is dead. She doesn't exist and the curse is gone.
Oh.
However,
Oh, God.
the artist kept one of the eyes from the sculpture.
I bet that's worth a lot.
That big old black eye. So obviously there are online challenges that do exist that are dangerous. The Blue Whale Challenge.
Tide Pods.
Yeah, Tide Pods.
That's just Darwinism.
Yeah. There's a cyber psychologist, and they say that results in these trends being overhyped because stories can spread instantly across the world. Like, they just like feed on themselves. And she says these crazes are not unique to the online environment. It's just that the internet acts as a way of communicating these behaviors to a wider, more public audience. And then those that are vulnerable to this type of content are likely to have other reasons behind this vulnerability. I feel that our time and effort would be better spent concentrating on addressing the reasons behind the initial psychology vulnerability, whether that is like a low self-esteem, a mental health issue, or environmental issues, rather than the online content. So pretty much saying like, And like what you were saying before, like why do these kids want to participate in this challenge even though they know it's harmful? Are they looking for attention online? Are they looking like trying to like keep up with the other kids? Like what is the reason? What is the psychology behind it? So some of the ripples that go into this story are, so there were some internet users and they attempted to turn Momo into like a positive meme. So they'll like tweak the Momo picture and add wholesome and positive messages over the photos like eat healthy or you are loved. And they'll like change her eye color and they put makeup on her and flowers in her hair.
Oh, I love it. That's so great.
And then along with the memes, like Momo became a popular fan art model. So like Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. There's like a ton of images of Momo like altered, posted, and it was super fun. And then on February 28th, 2019, the Momo themed Photoshop contest was published on eBaum's World. And then within 24 hours, they received over 25 submissions, which is kind of cool.
Wait,
like
over 25?
I'm sorry?
25, you said?
Over 20, yeah. In 24 hours, they got over 25 submissions.
I thought that was like total. I'm like, that's...
No, that's like the number of listeners we have.
On a good day.
And then Orion Pictures and Vertigo Entertainment, supposedly they're working together to make a film about the Momo challenge and the artist that created her. I don't know if that's still happening or whereabouts that is, but I would be down to watch that.
Right?
Like, I mean, you could, obviously create like a documentary about it and like the hype that went behind it and on the people that believed it and everything. But it could also be like a super cool like horror movie.
Yeah, it could.
Can you imagine? Oh my gosh. I would totally watch that.
Absolutely. Well, that's like Slender Man. Slender Man, there's a documentary about it, which I have not watched because it seems pretty dang dark. But then there's also a fiction of it too.
I kind of remember. I don't think I've ever. I know I did never see it, but I remember hearing about that now that you're mentioning it.
Yeah.
It was a total. It seemed like for quite a while, maybe like in the early 90s, there was a bunch. Like that was the thing with like horror movies. Like all the Nightmare on Elm Streets were coming out and like that was like the thing. And I feel like there's not that many anymore, like scary movies.
Well, yeah. I don't know. Does that mean we're desensitized to it?
Or are they just not making them anymore? Is that like not the...
Well, they're not making any movies right now.
Well, movies are on hold. Unless they're like made in a kitchen. Anyways, so there's also some video games based on the Momo challenge that were published by a bunch of just like independent developers. And like the player had to do a bunch of tasks. So kind of like what Momo was said to have done.
Right.
And then the goal of the game was to survive before, like, quote, getting rescued. And there's another one where...
Another video game?
Another movie.
Oh, okay.
This one for sure is like a teen horror film and it has a name and everything, called The Getaway. And in that movie, the actors experience strange phenomena after one of them tells a story about Momo. So that one kind of reminded me of kind of like the I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like, I'm going to tell you the story of this stuff, and then this stuff really starts happening.
Huh.
So I don't know.
Okay.
So, like, I have a 6-year-old, and I do monitor everything she watches online. I'm like right there next to her.
Okay.
I know that parents that have more than one kid or are busy or working or whatever, they can't do that all the time. Like that's just not realistic. And I know I won't be able to do that forever. But there is scary stuff out there on the interwebs. And like, it's just, have that communication open with your kids. And if they see something that maybe they don't understand or scares them or they just don't like, let them come to you and talk to you about it, because there's some scary stuff out there. So that's pretty much the end of my story. I have, for whatever reason, because this is an old story, and I used to do my sources at the beginning, or I used to do them at the end of the stories apparently, but now I do them at the beginning. So here they are. It's News Talks with a Z, b.com.nz, Wikipedia, of course, IMDb, Vox.com, WashingtonPost.com, and then Today.com. Ta-da! Momo challenge.
It was never even a thing.
It wasn't even real. None of it. Just creepy pictures. And I totally believed it. I totally did.
Me too.
And I'm drinking my drink now.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm pretty much done with mine, and I didn't even see where yours went. I messed with the computer. Oh, okay.
Is that what you were trying
That's
to do?
That's what I was trying to do, and instead I just messed it up. All right, here we go. Are you ready?
I'm drinking a beer. I'm drinking tequila. I'm drinking vodka. I'm going to be a hot mess by the end of your story.
Oh, hey, I have a drink for my story.
Tell me about it.
You don't have to drink it. You can drink it another time.
Do you know me? Hi, I'm Rosa.
Okay, you're going to have 3 beverages going on at once. This is a Truly, right?
Truly. I like Truly's.
Truly.
Hard
but
seltzer.
I picked this for the name, and also because, oh, sorry. That probably made a really terrible noise right now. But I also picked it because it's easy and convenient, and I already had it in my refrigerator. But I promise soon, when all of this COVID madness is over, I will be back to making some fancy schmancy themed cocktails. But in the meantime,
my Momo challenge drink.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Peanut butter concoction.
Uh-huh. Well, I don't know if that was so good. But yeah, you definitely made up for it with this margarita.
Okay,
with this
I'm glad.
spiciness. Okay. On to the story that I wrote a long, long time ago. And
a land far, far away.
that I don't remember at all. So it's going to be an adventure for us both. I have my sources for once. And it's Today I Found Out, NPR, Radiolab, and Slate.
Okay.
You look like you're about to say something.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about a thing that you probably heard about, but you really may not actually know about.
Okay.
War of the Worlds.
Yes.
You know about this.
It was a movie.
It was a movie. It was a movie that I actually never watched.
Me either.
I probably have no authority to do this story.
It's got
on it
spaceships in it. That's
it's
all
got
I know.
space things, and it has who's in it?
Tom Cruise.
It is.
Is it really?
It is Tom Cruise.
How did I know that?
How come we haven't talked about Scientology yet?
When's our next cult episode?
Okay. So this is about the War of the Worlds that was read on the radio as a radio show back in the day. So it was actually a part of the Mercury Theater on the Air series, which was a series of short stories acted out by radio people in old-timey voices.
I love it.
Kind of like what we're doing right now, right?
Old-timey voices.
Okay.
This reminds me of like when Dad would go out and turn the wind machines on or start the smudge pots when it was real cold at night.
Yep.
And he would listen to these radio shows like
Coast to Coast is what he listened to.
Because, you'd have to sit in your truck waiting.
Yeah, people have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So let me tell you about when the avocados get cold.
And the avocados were cold.
Again, nobody knows what you're referring to.
So our dad is a farmer. Let's start there.
Okay.
A little backstory. Our dad's a farmer. We have avocado orchards. Go.
When it gets cold out, the avocados could freeze, and you got to warm them up with some little fireplaces.
Or else the whole tree will die.
Or else the tree will freeze. Or wind machines.
Because it blows the air around.
Right. So it circulates the air, and it won't freeze.
Right. So this stuff has to happen when the temperature drops to what degree?
I don't know, like low 30s.
Okay, so when it gets super cold, the wind machines have to turn on, and this little smudge pots, baby heaters, have to get lit.
I swear, you're just trying week after week to make this into like a botany.
I think I'm going to start
podcast.
A plant podcast.
So the bottom line is, my dad likes to listen to science fiction and conspiracy theories on an old radio show called Coast to Coast.
That's pretty much the gist of what I was trying to say.
Yep. That was a fun adventure.
Continue.
Okay. So Orson Welles adapted the story that H.G. Wells wrote back in 1897. That's a long time ago.
Over 100 years ago. Look at me doing that math.
That's really good. Wait, really? Was that long ago?
Hey, you wrote this.
The story of the 1897 H.G. Wells War of the Worlds. That might be a typo. I don't know. Maybe it was 1987.
No.
But we'll go
No,
with
it wasn't.
No, because he read this story in 1938, so it couldn't have been 1987. Right. Okay, so moving on. It was a story about Martians attacking Earth, and it was supposed to be like a spooky tale that he was going to tell on Halloween, since they were doing this radio show on October 30th of 1938.
It's my favorite holiday, by the way.
I know. Is your very favorite. So they were doing like a series like leading up to Halloween where they would tell a spooky story on the radio and get people all in the mood for spooky season.
Totally. I love it.
Okay. And just a little backstory, history on radios, which I know is going to be super, super fascinating. But so radios were first sold to civilians in the 1920s, and it was considered the golden age of radio broadcasting in the 1930s, which is when all of this happened.
Okay.
So that's just like a little foreshadowing, okay?
All right.
The original story of War of the Worlds took place in the UK, but to make it like more realistic and relatable to the US audience, Orson Welles changed the story to a New Jersey setting and told the perspective as an on-the-scene reporter.
Okay, I got it. I'm with you.
Okay. So there was no reporter in the original story, but at the time, most people were familiar with the original book. So they kind of like knew the story he was telling, and think of it as the remix of the original story.
Okay.
Okay, so the show starts out with a weather report. So, I don't think they had doot-doots back then.
Oh. This is Rosa coming at you live.
Now you got to be like, hey there.
Hey there, ho there. Haddly hodly.
Okay, the weather report starts, and then they play a song, and after about 15 seconds into the song, they interrupt the music with a breaking news report from the Intercontinental Radio News Station. And the report states there was a large explosion.
Boom.
Thanks for that.
Sure.
And large explosions were observed on Mars from an Illinois observatory. And they described these explosions as...
Did they have super hardcore telescopes back then that could see Mars?
Yes, Rissa.
Oh, okay.
They could see Mars.
I
mean, it's at the Illinois Observatory.
All right. Continue.
I mean...
I don't know. I just have questions sometimes.
Okay. So they describe these explosions as a jet of blue flames that were moving towards planet Earth.
Okay.
You know, the one we live on.
Yes,
okay.
Correct.
So then they return to the music, and they say that they'll like come back when they have more information. A few seconds later, they interrupt the music again, and then they say that this meteor hit a field in New Jersey. Like it touched Earth.
Yay.
It smashed down. Not yay.
Oh, I mean, boo.
So the reporter describes the scene, and it's as if he's interviewing a farmer who owns his own field there where like it hit down. I don't know why I needed to specify that he owns his own fields. But the people who saw the impact drove to the farm to check it out. So it sounds like very, very realistic on the radio as they're doing this whole like radio broadcast thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you can hear people in the background and they're like making a commotion and like, oh, what's that? It's a meteor. And then they keep cutting to experts like these space scientists and astrophysicists from some important sounding universities. And they even talk to like this expert in California, and they're like talking to the reporter on the scene. So they're like really doing it up. Like it sounds like it's a real newscast.
Sure.
And after a minute or two, they say,
oh, the humanity.
Yes.
Mm. I said that with a lot of feeling.
Okay. So they're looking at this big space rock, and they notice that it like seems to be kind of moving. And they're like, what's going on there?
The rock is moving?
Yes, the space rock that's in the field.
Okay.
And then they see this space creature emerging from the big space rock. And then suddenly you hear like this screaming, and the reporter cuts out. And then the DJ back at the station, he was like, oh, I think we're experiencing some technical difficulties, which is like us every single week.
Yeah.
And then they said like, okay, we'll come back when there's more information about the Mars rock and we have a better connection. And so then like the radio show goes back to this like classical piano music.
Oh my God. I'd be like hugging the radio trying to figure out what was happening next.
Okay. And then at the same time, like if you just tuned in and you don't know that it's radio theater, you're like, what the hell? Like, yeah,
it's a news report.
Or what the heckin' Bob?
What in Sam Hale?
So you would have no idea that it's just a story that they're telling. So after the bulletin, they return to the music, and then a few more minutes go back and they interrupt the broadcast again. And they're announcing that people are in the field, including several police officers. And some sort of like Mars weaponry laser sort of things came out
pew, 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 pew.
and actually killed people.
Oh no.
There in the field.
Uh-huh.
So this broadcast went on for an hour, and throughout the report, actors playing scientists and space experts and witnesses and police and military are being interviewed. And the story continues with little green Martians coming out of the rock and like exploring the planet. And
this is fantastic.
They weren't very nice little green Martians.
They were lasering people.
Yeah, it's wild. And it's actually pretty entertaining. I listened to like
the OG version.
Yeah, and it holds up.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
That's
so
rad.
You can check it out on YouTube if you want to hear it. It's really good. So they do their story. It's It's Halloween spooky time. And then the following day, Orson Welles and the rest of the CBS station get to work, whatever, and they're just like completely shocked to find that all of these stories are coming out on the front page of the newspapers with headlines like fake radio war stirs throughout the United States, and upward of 1 million people were convinced that the United States was under attack. You
get to pick one of those.
Yeah, I typed that incorrectly.
You got both of them.
That I don't remember how the story ended, I just read it that way. So the United States was invaded by aliens. How about that?
That'll work.
So Orson Welles was just like bombarded with newspaper reporters asking him why he would do such an irresponsible thing. And how he caused so much panic, resulting in emotional distress and even physical injury. And of course, like, he didn't think that this was going to happen.
Physical injury? What were people doing?
Well, let me tell you. Well, first he was asked to apologize for taking an unfair advantage of the entire country's trust in the radio newscasting. He said he was deeply shocked and regretted the result of the last night's radio broadcast, and it came to a huge shock to him to know that his story about mythical monsters would have such a profound effect on radio listeners. I swear I'll get to the physical injuries eventually, but I don't remember what they were.
I don't think that's fair, though. I don't think he should have had to apologize.
Well, that happens all the time. We have like this whole cancel culture now, and I guess it happened even back then.
I don't agree with it, though. Like, he's friggin' doing a radio show. I mean, yeah, it sucks if people got hurt, but, like, that's not his fault.
Well, okay. I guess to put it into modern times, like, say you're watching NBC or whatever news show you're watching, but then they decide that they're going to do a comedy skit or a spooky skit.
But if I'm watching at 8 o'clock and the 8 o'clock hour is the comedy skit hour, I should know.
But
wasn't his show like normally like a drama storytelling hour?
It was, but do you think they had like radio guides like they had TV guides? I don't know.
I'm going to tune in every Tuesday night at 5 p.m.
But you're just scanning, you know?
I guess. Oh, whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean.
I don't think he should have had to apologize for having a fun Halloween prank.
Yeah.
I'm just a little defensive about Halloween pranks because I love Halloween pranks.
Yeah, and we should definitely have Halloween pranks since April Fool's Day pranks were canceled this year.
2020 is canceled.
2020 is canceled. Man, what's Halloween going to be like?
I don't know, but I'm going to have a rad costume regardless.
Do you already know what you're going to be?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a surprise?
Always.
Okay. Well, we'll have to find out.
Stay tuned.
If we're still doing this
hell yeah,
dog
we will
and
be.
pony show in October, you'll know what Rosa was for Halloween. Okay, so let's see what happened. So the following weeks, more stories came out about thousands of people trying to flee the city because, you know, Martians and such. Injuries resulting in attempted... here it is. Injuries resulted from attempting to run away on foot. And some of the more severe stories stated that traffic accidents happened because of this, because people, I guess, were just like trying to speed away from these Martians. Near riots.
Okay. Well,
hordes of panicked people in the streets, heart attacks, and even suicide.
Oh, that's sad. That's sad.
Yeah.
Okay. I see his apology now.
And at the same time, too. So, like, if you're listening to this radio show, you got to think, like, you can't just, like, give it a goog and see if it's real or not.
Yeah,
because
true.
it was, like, a different time when radio was all the rage and you couldn't just give it a quick Wikipedia check or anything.
Snopes it out.
Right. So.
All right. I guess his apology, I get it now.
A funny prank. Not so funny when people are
hurting.
Yeah. Okay. So, and that's the story that most people know about the War of the Worlds.
I know. The tequila and vodka and Midori mix is hitting hard.
And also, I wrote What of Whoa.
What? Is that supposed to be War of the Worlds?
I guess so, but I wrote this like months ago, and I don't know what the hell kind of abbreviation I was trying to go with.
WOW.
Okay, so that's like, if you heard about this story, that's the story that most people know, right?
Sure. Uh-huh.
Now let me tell you the story after the story.
Okay, I'm ready. This
the
is
real
what the ripple
story
is all about.
However, everything you think you know was wrong.
What?
Okay. First of all,
this is how bad it was, because I think I was pretty drunk the first time you read the story. I have no idea what you're going to say right now. None.
Oh. Well, here we go. First of all, a poll was conducted by the Broadcasting Rating Survey Company, and it called more than 5,000 homes the night of the broadcast and found that 98% of radio listeners weren't even listening to Orson Welles.
Was it the Ripple podcast? were they surveying the Ripple podcast people? 98% aren't even really listening.
They just hit play to humor us. And then they turn their volume all the way down.
I mean, I do.
Okay. No, there's actually a much more popular radio show playing at the same time as the Orson Welles show, and it had like pretty low ratings.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What?
So of those people polled who actually were listening to his show, no one actually believed that it's real. They knew it was like a
a Halloween story.
A prank the whole time. Like, it was supposed to be a spooky story the entire time.
No.
They didn't fall for it. So then that adds to the question, like, where did these rumors even come from and why were they a thing? Well, as you recall from my history lesson at the beginning of the story, this is right when radios were getting super popular. And because people were using radio broadcasts to get their news for the first time, they stopped buying newspapers. Are you putting the pieces together?
No. Give me
So
more.
then the newspapers found out about this radio show and they're like, well, how can anybody take the radio seriously when they're doing stuff like this and having this prank show, disguising it as news? And they fabricated these headlines to make all of these people mistrust radio and continue to buy newspapers.
Oh, it was like almost like a publicity promotion.
Right. And then, like, you would think, like, well, if newspapers are starting to post all of this fake news in their papers. Did you hear how I just said post like it was online?
Total. And I went with it. One fake news. I mean, that's like,
right.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So what they did, this is how the newspapers tried to justify what they did. They,
wait, so the
try again.
Papers are just talking a bunch of shit about the radios.
Right. Because newspaper sales went down when radio sales went up.
Okay.
And they wanted to bring their customers back.
Like, how can you trust a radio?
Right.
We're the only ones that tell you the truth.
Exactly.
Okay.
So this is how the newspapers got away with doing that. So there actually was a slight increase in calls to the local police stations the night of the broadcast of people asking if it was real. But other than that, there was no documented incidents of panic or injury resulting from the broadcast. Traffic was normal. Hospitals didn't have any records of heart attacks or injuries because of the show.
I'm sorry, keep going.
Okay, so when these polls were taken, the radio polls about like, oh, did you think this was real? They asked people to review the show. And some of the reviews came in saying like, oh, it was terrifying. It was frightening. It was exciting. And the newspaper took those reviews and they translated that into like panic and shock.
Well, like what they do now and take certain quotes and certain, editing royalties to make it sound how they want it to sound.
Oh, yeah. Look at any politician ever and you'll see like one news station taking like little clips and pieces and posting that and creating an entire story out of it, even though they don't have the whole like comprehensive
story.
Statement. So,
or they do the whole
clickbait.
Yeah, which I fell victim to just today.
Oh, what was it?
So it was stupid. I was doing a raffle. So I put a bunch of names in.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Okay, and did you see me hit the wrong button because I thought it said start? So technically it wasn't like a clickbait story, but it was an incorrect button. Oh. And it took me to a whole other like wormhole.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
So did Orson Welles actually truly apologize?
He really did. Because
did he believe that this all happened?
He did. Yeah.
So he fell victim to the newspaper hoaxes as well.
He did. So both of our stories were hoax inception.
That's interesting.
Because they were hoaxes within hoaxes.
Hoax within a hoax. Do you know that every time you were saying Orson Welles, I kept thinking of Orville Redenbacher?
Okay, this is how I know that we're like twins in a way, because every time I wrote that, I remember this now, even though I wrote it months ago. Every time I thought wrote Orson Welles, I thought of why.
That's weird.
Why though? It's not the same name.
Not even the same initials.
No,
technically.
it's the same first letter.
That's for real? You're for real?
I'm for real.
Orson Welles. Orville Redenbacher.
That's not even close.
We share a brain. Between the two of us, we have one brain.
Yeah, that's a true statement right there.
So, I mean, this was kind of fun that we revisited these stories. I'm sorry, I had a lot to drink. I kind of like this revisiting our old stories.
Yeah, I do too.
So next week, just to give you guys a little heads up, we're going to be doing things a little differently.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to go into details right now. But things will be similar, but just slightly different.
We're making improvements all the time.
I think so. And if you guys have ideas for us to improve other than just shut your mouths and stop recording, we'd love to hear them.
Maybe like practice the English language a little bit better, learn how to read off of paper.
Maybe not drink so much.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
But
sorry.
I finished my story first, so it was my turn to drink. Let's pick a theme for next week.
Okay. Do we still want to do along the way? Are we over?
I'm
along
so
the way?
sorry. I'm so not in the habit of doing that. Yes,
Okay.
please, can we do an along the way? I do not have one. I'm like super impressed that you do, because you're more on top of it than I am.
Well,
But- so your along the way is related. Okay, so backtrack. Along the way is kind of just something that we have found while researching our story that maybe doesn't necessarily like totally tie in to the story or a ripple, but it's just some interesting kind of fact that we found along the way. I feel like we need a theme song for along the way.
Right. Maybe somebody can make us that.
Yeah, if you know how to write songs, shoot it to us at theripplepod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
I think that's our website or email address.
Wait, do we have an email address?
I totally made us one.
Did you ever check it? See if anybody emailed us? It's probably full of freaking thousands of messages right now.
Probably. And I probably need to post something on Facebook because I haven't done that for a really long time.
Doesn't all of our Instagram stuff go there?
No, not always.
Oh.
Follow us on Instagram,
Ripple Pod.
Facebook, The Ripple Pod with Rosa and Angela. And
If you say so. Come hang out with us on Instagram. That's my favorite place to
that's
talk
the place
to people.
be.
That's the place to be. But
anyways, I just want to say really quickly, and maybe it's the alcohol in me, but those of you that have written reviews, like, it's super exciting to get those.
Oh my gosh.
It really, really means a lot. And I just want to say thank you. Like, we don't have a lot, obviously. We don't have a lot of reviews, but it's super rad. It
really is.
super, like, cool to hear that people that, like, we don't even know you and you like us a little bit.
yeah, I am already, like, just thrilled and overwhelmed when we have people who know us who are writing us a review, even though it may be a pity review. But you know what? I'll take it. But when I have strangers who I've never met,
and we're not
neither of
like
us-
giving cupcakes to write a review.
Right.
We're not bribing you. I mean, we will if you want to be bribed.
yeah, absolutely. You want cupcakes? Fun fact, Rosa and I used to make cupcakes for a job.
Fun fact, we were a cupcake business.
At one time.
We were. It just comes naturally was the name of our cupcake business. One day we will go into a Rosa and Angela fun fact.
Oh, we should do an AMA.
AMA?
Ask me anything.
Oh, I don't know that.
Oh, we should do that. Episode 50. Yeah?
Episode 50. Let's do it.
And ask me anything.
Yes.
Get your questions ready.
Oh, shit. Do we have to answer them? Well, I guess that's the rule.
I guess so.
The name is the rule. Wait, how's that go? The rules are the name.
The rules are the title.
The rules, yeah.
Ask me
like
anything.
that. AMA. I love it. Those are,
Okay.
yeah. Okay. Tell me about your along the way.
Okay, this is the along the way. I remember hearing about this a long time ago when it actually happened. This was back April 2nd, 2013. April 2nd, after April Fool's Day.
Happy birthday, Mark.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday, Mark. What a great birthday day.
April Fool's Day.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a story about Florida.
I'm so happy you're slurring your words too. I'm so happy.
Florida DJs may face felonies after an April Fool's water joke. Do you remember this at all?
What?
Okay, so Florida County Radio morning show hosts Val St. John and Scott Fish are currently serving an indefinite suspension and possibly worse after a successful April Fool's Day prank. They told their listeners that dihydrogen monoxide were coming out of the taps. Dihydrogen monoxide.
I don't know what that word means.
Oh, so you would have fallen victim. Okay, so they told people that all of the taps and your showers and everything were spewing out dihydrogen monoxide. It was in your food. Like, it was just like this whole big thing.
Okay.
Dihydrogen monoxide.
Hydrogen dye to hydrogen dye. Nope. Can't get there.
There's dihydrogen monoxide coming out of your taps, Rosa.
If you say it louder, I'm still not going to understand it.
Let me try saying it slower. Dihydrogen monoxide. There's two hydrogens.
H2O.
Yay!
Look at me. Look at me.
We got there.
Look at me being so smart.
H2O.
H2O.
Yeah.
Gatorade.
So yeah, that was my fun story. Apparently it was a morning show and it was April Fool's Day and they were telling everybody this, but people were freaking out where they're like, what the hell is in my water? What's going on? Again, just like the whole Orson Welles thing, they were taking this radio show as news.
And this for real happened.
This
people
for real
freaked
happened
out.
And this for real caused them to be suspended from being on the radio. And for real, I don't know. I didn't look up a current story, but I don't know if they probably didn't actually get felony charges, right? I would imagine that would have been thrown out.
If they did, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. So that was my story along the way.
Oh, that's fun.
Okay.
Okay, so for next week, our story topic is supernatural tools and devices.
Oh, hey, that was a listener suggestion.
It totally was. Bree? Ash? Somebody. We only have like 4 listeners. It's one of you guys. Anyways, that's going to be super fun. Supernatural tools and devices. I love it.
Cool.
So
you can use your EPT finally.
Early pregnancy test.
Mm-hmm.
Boop, boop. Do we have anything else to say to our listeners? Thank you for listening.
Rate, review, subscribe.
Yeah,
Download
any
these episodes.
any other ratings or reviews we would love to have.
That was fun.
Yeah, they make us happy. But have a great week. We will talk to you next time, and until then, don't forget to be a fountain
And not a drain.
Bye-bye. Say goodbye.
Oh, goodbye.